I was on the Mayo Clinic discussion boards and literally stumble into an FMD patient. That there was a post about a young woman who had passed all her GI workups, had uncontrolled high blood pressure. And this woman, Carrie, had posted, "You might want to get your vascular system checked." I was like, I completely agree with you, and why do you know to say that? And Carrie is the medial variety, but with her, she had been at this for much longer and instantly started making connections with people. We both happened to win scholarships to social media conferences. She goes to the Mayo Clinic, I go to Stanford. And so all of a sudden we're just coming into everything and learning how to really effectively use this social media. We end up creating this FMD chat because with the rarity of our disease, there's little to no chance of just meeting somebody. You know, the advantages of diabetes, you know, more common diseases is you might bump into somebody who has it and you can have that connection. The first patient that I heard of who had the intimal variety was a girl in South Africa. The next one is a guy in New York. So far I've found 7 that have it. We really started talking about, you know, the importance of the patient-to-patient connection, because there was a question about the validity of social media information and what's being shared. We may not be doctors, but we know what we've gone through. We can share that, and telling our story helps others not feel so alone. Facebook, just in general, more than 80 million active users, pretty ubiquitous across age groups, economic groups, geographic groups. Using it to connect with people, there's one less login to remember, always good for people like me. Allows for the entire group to communicate or one-on-one. Plus, we already knew how to use it. So this is our Facebook page. You can see up here, we've got 11 page administrators. That's on purpose so that these people are in all different regions of the world. So any given time of day, somebody's probably going to be online. And so any one of these 11 people who posts is going to show up as FMD chat. And we just have an agreement that you identify yourself and your country so that everybody knows kind of who you are and what's going on. You can see, this is, you know, me looking at it. 29 friends, that is so cool. Okay, 29 friends of mine are on this page. Overall, you know, this is from a couple of days ago, 132 likes. We're up to 144. It is beyond my imagination that I ever would have known 144 people who had any clue what FMD was or had it. You know, we've opened this up so that it's not just patients, it's also caregivers in terms of family spouses or doctors, anybody who wants to be this, because this is an open page. We have made it somewhere that patients can connect with one another, but that people can come and learn, and if you want to talk to a patient about it, just post a question. Our breakdown, 101 members from the United States, Norway, Australia, Ireland, Canada, you know, but that means that this is just spreading and that we're getting it influenced in all these different cultures and all these different languages. This is my own personal Facebook page for my identity as Afternoon Napper, which is very true. I enjoy a good afternoon nap. I use this to promote myself as a healthcare blogger, but also to help kind of echo back around some of what the FMD chat group is doing. With Twitter, very, very pro-sharing, pro-networking, being used more and more for serious communication and the rise in use in healthcare, I was blown away by Twitter. Same thing. I did not have a Twitter account until September because I hated it. I thought it was stupid. And for me, I have made more useful, viable connections through Twitter than through Facebook. I was stunned. This is our Twitter account. Both Carrie and I have access to this. We're just, getting out the information, trying to have that presence, trying to connect with people, drive traffic in both directions so that Facebook is going to Twitter, Twitter is going to Facebook, just trying to make more and more connections. I'll just point out our logo is a brand new logo that was designed to represent the beating of the arteries with that medial form, the vascular system, and really the sense of community that's created with FMD from patient to patient. This is Carrie's own web page or Twitter page. She too is using things to, have her own identity and also loop back around this Brad T. Tinkle. He is someone who's done a lot of research into Ehlers-Danlos, which is a connective tissue disease. Many of us show potential overlaps with connective tissue diseases. Carrie sent me Brad's book, and reading it was just, again, another eye-opening of, oh, that's not just me, other people do that. How exciting, not that it's good, but it's exciting that it's not just me. My own Twitter page, trying to, again, make the connections, get ideas for doing blogs, which blogging, it allows you to have the longer format, express things in more than 140 characters at a time. Then cross-sharing and cross-promoting. Posts can be shared on Facebook, Twitter, and other SoMe platforms. I like that abbreviation of social media. This is Carrie's blog. She specifically is dedicated to FMD with her Fibromuscular Dysplasia.blogspot.com address. She got to, right about here, experiencing healthcare from both sides of the bed and really lending that perspective to it. This is me, really trying to lend my own voice to the discussion because that's what I've got. And that's what's unique is me. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a professional at this, but I can tell you what I think and what I've experienced and how things have gone for me. And putting the human touch on it helps make it more approachable. As a patient, how many times have you tried to read these really technical reports and look at the scans and everything, and some of it can be really, really intimidating, but trying to make it more human, I think, gives people a real sense of comfort. So these are some of the blog stats. I can see what's popular and what's not. Some things that I think are just going to go really, really well don't, and then other things are surprising. One of my favorite posts of recent was this: just because I have the same disease as you doesn't mean I like you. Which is about the fact that we may have this thing in common that can be a real bonding experience, but that doesn't mean that we share anything else. And however patients need to get their support, they should be allowed to pick their disease friends just the same as they pick their regular friends. If you want to hang out with a SCAD survivor and a diabetic and whatever, if they can provide the support for one another, then that's great. And that you may end up pigeonholing people by forcing them into these subgroups, allow them to still be human. Why do I do it? These are quotes. from the FMD chat page. Every time I read posts here, I find out we have so many disease/symptoms in common. It seems to take me by surprise when I read about someone else with some of the same weird stuff I have. I feel normal here. This FMD chat and the wonderful caring people here, well, let's just say it's been a godsend. There's such a bond that forms. Thanks, family. I have given over to this disease since the symptoms began showing their evil self in 2007. No more. I will not lay down, sit down, worry, and woo. I am taking back what is mine, no matter what it takes. My goal is set. Love you guys. And just wow, it's so great to find people like me.